we're going to move to the next part of our schedule, where we're going to be looking at our panel discussion. We've got some wonderful people joining us on the panel, and I'm just going to reintroduce them again. We've got, sorry, I see a question there. Bongani, let me see if I can come back to that question at the end if we have some time. Please hold on to that question, but I'll come back to it. We've got Thabo Pitsi from S&P Global Platts, and he's the Senior Commercial Manager who looks after business development and growth in Africa. It was very similar to that of Tshepiso's, although you kind of, I would say you kind of paved the way in some respect, where you studied a bachelor's of science in biochemistry as well. But you're one of the top names that come to mind when I think of salespeople on the African continent. What was your journey like when you left university? I mean, and went into the workplace. How did you navigate your career to such a point that you ended up in sales?
Thank you very much, Ezekiel. Good evening, everyone. I just want to say big thanks to Think Big 039 and Ezekiel for inviting me to this session today, and all of my friends that have joined on this session today. So it's a very interesting introduction, and thanks, Tshepi. So my career, in fact, went more or less similar to Tshepiso in a way that I also studied biochemistry and medical sciences at Wits University. So the intention initially was to become a drug designer in a way of pharmacology. So I wanted to study BSc and then go into honors in pharmacology and get to design the interesting drugs, or even the vaccines for the likes of COVID-19 and so on and so forth. So the sales bug actually caught me when I was doing my final year of biochemistry, where we had the pharmaceutical companies coming into the university to come and recruit students. And there I saw the opportunity to get into pharmaceutical industry, which would obviously propel me to the career aspiration that I've always wanted to go into. But I think in your earlier presentation, maybe one context to bring to the audience is that, why are we talking about sales? What is so unique about sales in the whole big scheme of things around business? I mean, if you think about business, it has a whole lot of other departments that are equally as important. But sales is very critical in terms of it's basically it balances the cash flow, which is the bloodline for every business. So when I got into sales, I was like any other young person that thought, oh, sales is not a sexy job. But I got into it and I learned a lot, working in the pharmaceutical industry. But I would like to think of myself as a very curious person. So I've always wanted to learn different things. So I worked in the pharmaceutical industry for a period of about 6 years, and I worked for different companies. And within that, I then later ventured into something different, which is information intelligence, that led me to meet up with you from a commodity side of business. But I will tell you a little bit more about how I got into commodities. But I think sales is very important for any young people, whether you are in high school or in university. I think the first degree that you study in university, the most important thing is that it just enables you to help you with problem-solving skills. So it doesn't limit you to the kind of career that you can go into. There are a lot of opportunities out there that you can try, and sales is also very good in terms of opening up your horizons and helping you eventually if you want to go into business yourself. Thanks.
Same question. Thabo, if we could just get you back on the spotlight there. And hey, you're a man with years of experience. I call you the LeBron James of sales.
Yeah.
But from your corporate experience, I mean, it's not only you haven't only been in sales, but well, not in the same industry per se, but you've been across different industries. What's critical for you in terms of soft skills that our young people who are up and coming, even young people like myself who are up and coming, that need to learn or have in order to thrive in a business environment?
Yeah, thanks, Ezekiel, and thanks to the colleagues and some of the soft skills that they've mentioned. I think what is
Yeah,
critical also for the young people that are on the call today is to understand the importance of soft skills over and above the hard skills that you would have gained at university and the likes. But I think the most important one, in particular in the context of South Africa, is work ethic. I think work ethic is very, very important, that you need to respect your job and be able to, in order for you to be effective, be punctual, be responsible and take accountability in terms of, if you are given a task, you need to be able to execute the task accordingly. And I think the other one that I really think is very important in the context of, my sales career is the empathy. I think
yeah,
empathy is very important in a sense that, often we tend to focus on what we do in a job space, and you channel yourself to what it is that you do, and you don't think about anything beyond that. So it's very important that sometimes you think outside and, get yourself to, maybe go to networks and meet with people outside. And a typical example with myself is I'm very passionate about, mentoring young people. Tshepiso is one of the example of the young person that I've mentored into the corporate space. So I think you always have to give yourself, stretch yourself, and be able, because there's so much that you can learn from other industries that you can bring into your industry. I always say to people that are coached that go into job opportunities as well, that diversity is very important, and diversity is not just in the case of race or anything like that, but it also, if you are in the ITC environment, if they're only hiring people from Cell C, Telcom, and other people for a sales role in the ICT environment, it doesn't create diversity unless they bring someone from a commodity sector or someone from the banking sector who has the sales experience, that will try and bring in the mix within the company. So I think it's very important to broaden your thinking. So those are some of the soft skills that I think are very important for young people that are thinking into getting into a sales role or any kind of entrepreneurial opportunity in the in the corporate world, or you want to start your own business.
sure. And thanks, Thabo. Thanks for that, man. And I can attest to that. I know I'm still a rough diamond that you're trying to polish.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. We're getting there. I see some questions. Please keep them coming. We'll take the questions shortly. We're just gonna take some questions that I'm gonna ask the panel, and then we'll get to the question and answer session. But Thabo, while I still have you on the line, what are the three main lessons that you would share with a young Thabo Pitsi, perhaps a 20-year-old version of yourself, just about to complete varsity, get into the work environment? What are the three key lessons that you would leave to a younger version of yourself?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that you need to be fair to yourself, and think that when I think about the young version of Thabo, 20-year-old, I was still in varsity, and I think the most important thing is to tell yourself that you are enough. One of the challenges that faces a lot of young people right now is the challenge of instant gratification. We want it now. We want it now. We want to get rich quickly. So you need to be, just take the opportunity, sit back, and understand that you still have a lot of, a lot of things to learn in the university environment. And when you get into a working environment, yes, you leave university, whether you graduate with cum laude, you think to yourself, you know everything, but you need to open up that opportunity to allow yourself to still learn a little bit more. And I think that the other thing that I would really tell the young me would be the importance of being financially savvy, the value of money, being able to save early. And the other thing that really inspires me about you and some of the young people that I engage with is young people need to really take the opportunity and take the risk. And if you want to get into business, you don't have to wait until you are 35 or 40. You need to take the chances while you're still young and go out there. And so I think the young, the 20-year-old Thabo would be proud of who I have become right now. But I think I would really say to him that, look, you don't have to put a lot of pressure on yourself. You are enough, and you still have a lot to learn.
Ah, fantastic. So play the long game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but me, I want to be like you now.
You need to pay your dues.
Thank you for sharing that, Thabo. In the world of social media that we live in, it's so important to remind ourselves not to compare ourselves with the next person, but stay in your lane and keep like you said, earning your stripes. Thanks a lot. I'm going to bring you back for further questions. And I'm going to start off with this question. It's coming from Bongani, saying, how do I grow market share? And I've got ideas on that, but let me benefit from our panel members here. Thabo Pitsi, how do I grow market share in my business? I think that's a fairly generic question, but what do you think of that?
Oh, thank you. That's a very interesting question. I think the most important thing in business is you need to understand, as you've explained earlier on, understanding the business that you're in and the market that you participate in. There's a lot of ways in how you can grow your market share. In terms of, I think one of the questions earlier was around, business development. So you can implement a lot of strategies like, where you target, the low-hanging fruit, and also equally running your business development strategy to make sure that you create awareness about your product or the services that you're providing to the market, and to be able to to grow your market share. And also you can also tap into, depending on what industry you're in, thought leadership is very important in terms of creating awareness about the product or services that you're providing. I remember in the times of pharmaceutical, we used to have key opinion leaders that we would engage with about our products to be able to help create awareness, and then you would definitely grow your market share. So it's really just understanding the market that you're playing in and being able to understand the white space that you can still be able to tap into, and also understanding the strength of your services versus that of your competitors. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell what I can say.
Ah, fantastic. Thanks a lot, Thabo. Thanks a lot. And there's a question from Nkotsoe. It says, as a young man or lady from the townships, I think I'll give it to Thabo as well. As a young man or lady from the township's rural area, how do I ensure that I can sell well to a level of competing with big corporate companies? I'm thinking of guys in tutoring services, for instance. Press, I don't know if you want to ask that question. Would you mind just unmuting yourself and ask it to Thabo directly?
Okay, cool. Thanks. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. So I'm just asking that because I've already seen a couple of guys that are running tutoring services company. So the question is, right, so the guys, they've got the skill, but now it's a question of they need to reach the right market, right? So what sort of tools, what sort of what is it that they can do in order for them to make sure that they can compete very well? We're looking at a professionalism point of view. We're looking at the sort of platform maybe that they can also go for. And I think I'm also touching on the next question that I'm getting at. So it's a question of what is it that one can do to make sure that they are the best of the best in order to make sure that their product or service is basically reaching the right target market.
Thabo, I don't
Yeah.
know if you got it. I don't want to answer it because it's going to seem like I'm selling my business.
Yeah, I was actually, let me attempt to answer that, and I'm going to give you a share of it. I think, it's a blessing in disguise in the fact that we are in the time of the pandemic right now, that a lot of things are done virtually. Ideally, this session would have been maybe in a meeting somewhere where it's limited people that are able to attend the session. But I think in terms of expanding your business or the reach, we're living in the times of the fourth industrial revolution. So social media, it's actually one platform that you can utilize to really expand your reach in terms of, the target audience that you want to get to. And I think the business model, or rather the business proposition that you're offering, it can really help a lot with young people that are, studying online right now, that needs, help in terms of tutoring. But I think there are a lot of companies out there that can help you with strategy, because I think with any business, it's very important to fine-tune the value proposition of what you're providing. Why should people go for you versus all the other tutoring companies that are out there? So you need to be able to differentiate yourself. So without, sounding like I'm selling Ezekiel's business, but maybe Ezekiel, you can talk a little bit about how you're helping small businesses be able to reach their audience. And again, before Ezekiel, you come in, it doesn't matter where you are from, Wako. The technology or the internet has enabled us to reach. We live in a global world right now. In a way that you don't have to sell yourself short because you're from the rural area. If you have a brilliant concept, if you have a business concept that you want to sell to the world, the platform is available for you that you can be able to, sell your business. But anyway, Ezekiel, you can take it from there. I think you have a better answer than I do.
No, I think you with different custom engagement channels opening up as a part of digital transformation, what enhanced skill sets are required for traditional salespersons used to face-to-face selling to enhance their skills and ensure they remain relevant to customers and still engage them for effectively engage them effectively? I can take that one, but Thabo, I don't know if you want to go one up on your twin brother here. Earlier on, he said he's the better twin, so maybe this is a time for you to take revenge. I don't know if you want to take that one.
I don't want to be the only one answering questions here, but it's a very interesting question, and I think it doesn't only goes to sales, but it's relevant to all things, jobs, or roles across business, in terms of how best can one transform your role to be relevant in these times of the digital transformation or the fourth industrial revolution. So the most important thing is, I think, we always talk about people's skills as being very important in terms of, sales, to be successful in terms of as a salesperson. Someone was asking about, how would I become a successful salesperson if I'm an introvert, So, the things about communication and all the other soft skills that we're talking about, you can still be able to, showcase those kind of soft skills even in a digital environment. I mean, the fact that we're having business meetings through Zooms and Teams doesn't mean you're missing that opportunity to have a discussion around breaking the ice, having that discussion with the client and understanding, making sure that they are comfortable in the meeting. But I think for me, I think technology is more of an enabler than a challenge. So I think we also need to make sure that we understand how, as a salesperson, you can be able to utilize data analytics, to be able to effectively sell to your clients. There was a question around how to grow market share. So you can use data analytics to be able to gather the information about your target market and be able to segment it according to the target market that would be interested in this the products that you need. So technology, I think it shouldn't be something that threatens us in our role. I know people that are threatened by AI, to say it's going to take their jobs. Everyone wants to do coding, but it's all about how you transform your roles to becoming more relevant.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks a lot.